Hello, everyone. Arian Ramos here with my partner, Brian Garrison. We will be discussing Buckle Up Niño, a health communication campaign for Hispanic parents of young children in California.
First, we'll be discussing the issue. Child passenger safety is a serious public health issue in the United States. Motor vehicle crashes are a leading cause of death for children in the country. The most effective way to reduce child motor vehicle fatalities is the use of age and size appropriate child passenger restraints, such as car seats, booster seats, and seatbelts. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, child safety seats reduce the risk of injury by 71% to 82% and reduce the risk of death by 28% when compared to those for children of similar ages in seatbelts. Some children are left completely unrestrained while in a motor vehicle, and then in 2009 to 2010, out of all child motor vehicle accident mortalities, 26% of white children were left unrestrained compared to 46% of Hispanic children. Next slide.
All right, so the overall program goal of the campaign is to reduce the motor vehicle accident mortality rates of Hispanic children in California due to the misuse of child passenger restraint systems. So the campaign targets specifically the parents, the Hispanic parents of young children, as the parents are the ones who are primarily responsible with restraining their child in the car. So one of our two outcome objectives is by the year 2025, X% of California Hispanic parents of young children will report using age and size appropriate child passenger restraint systems. We have three communication objectives that go along with that outcome objective. The one we listed first and as the most important one is within 2 years of campaign launch, X% of the campaign audience will report via online or paper survey attending a child passenger safety education program in their area. We selected that one as installing car seats and booster seats. It's very technical, so having the audience utilize a education program in their area will be really helpful with addressing that. Next slide.
And so for our campaign audience, they have a few barriers to our campaign, which include social norms, attitudes, and beliefs. Also, the cost of car seats or newer vehicle compatible with a car seat. So money is an issue. Also the Spanish language, so we need to make sure we have a simple campaign, and also knowledge of the issue. So if they don't know about the dangers, then there's nothing that they could do to change it. So our campaign aims at those factors. Next slide.
So for this slide, we'll cover our theory. The campaign is guided primarily by the social marketing theory and the theory of planned behavior. So for the social marketing theory, we know our 4 Ps are product, price, place, and promotion. So for the P, it's the product or the behavior that we want our target audience to adopt. So for the product, we want our Hispanic parents of young children to properly and consistently use the correct child passenger restraints for their child. And for the theory of planned behavior, some of the constructs that we utilize for the planning is attitude, subjective norm, and perceived behavioral control. So an example of an attitude as it relates to this behavior is putting my child in the correct child passenger safety seat or child passenger restraint system is important and will keep them safe. So that's an attitude. A subjective norm is my family members think it is important for children to be in the correct child safety seat / child passenger restraint systems. And for perceived behavioral control, one example that we used is I'm confident in my ability to be knowledgeable of the proper restraint for my child based on their age and size. So that is a quick coverage of the theory components that we use for the campaign.
Mm-hmm. Next, we have the audience profile and segmentation. So according to our textbook, the audience profile is an analytical report on key findings from audience-related research and data analysis. So we had to cover the demographics, And so for our campaign, we don't have any age, gender, marital status, or number of children restrictions, and the audience is of similar race and ethnic background. So what can make a difference in the campaign is their language and literacy level. So we plan to have our communication mostly in Spanish to try to keep the materials simple, because according to the Health and Human Services, 29.8% of Hispanics state that they're not fluent in English. We also had to cover common beliefs, attitudes, social norms, and behavior. So Hispanic culture has a strong belief and culture around social norms. There are segments of the Hispanic population who may have a negative attitude toward using child restraints based on their cultural beliefs and social norms, such as they've never used one when they were a child, or they're good drivers and they won't get in an accident. Another segment is, another profile is socioeconomic factors. There are many Hispanics that are undereducated and do not have the monetary resources that other ethnicities have, and this affects their adoption of using a child restraint system. You can go to the next slide.
Okay. So next, we will discuss the campaign materials. So the campaign consists primarily of flyers, videos, a website, and a hotline number. So the videos will be displayed on Spanish language or Spanish television channels, and the videos will also be posted on Facebook. And we will also have flyers. The one on our screen today is one example. And so the flyers will be in English and Spanish, and the flyers will be shared on Facebook. And so the flyers and the videos aim to increase awareness about child passenger safety and to encourage the target audience to either call that hotline number that's listed there on the flyer or go to the website, whichever is more accessible for them. And so when they go to the website or they call the hotline number, they will be able to get information about a child passenger safety education program in their area. So when they find a location for one in their area, they can attend, and then they can learn and get hands-on experience about the proper installation of a car seat or booster seat. And then through this program, they can also, if they need, get a free or reduced price car seat or booster seat. So that quickly covers our campaign materials. Next.
And then for our process evaluation, we're going to measure our communication objectives by using a pre and post campaign survey to measure change in knowledge, attitudes, and beliefs about the use of child restraint systems. We'll also measure use of the website through Google Analytics. We will see how many people access the site and how many people clicked on the different links, videos, classes, and also see who's attended the classes. And the evaluation will help us to determine the effectiveness of the campaign, and we'll be able to improve the campaign based on the results. If Hispanic parents in California are using, or if they're using the car seats properly, if they own car seats, or if they've gained better knowledge of using and installing the child restraint systems or car seats. Next slide.
Right. So next, we did some pilot testing on our materials. We shared the flyer that was on a previous slide and also a video script. And so we received some helpful feedback from that material. So some suggestions for the flyers were to, because the flyer that we showed had car seats. And so the feedback suggested using imagery of actual children, because that will increase the parent, that'll resonate more with the parents and evoke more of like an emotional connection. Feedback on the flyer also suggested using more like eye-catching colors and graphics. And as far as the videos and the flyer, some feedback also suggested sharing information about the law as relation to child passenger safety in California, and also the legal consequences of not following the laws. And so some other feedback that we received is we could implement these campaigns with other target audiences like the children themselves, and also extended family to reach. other folks who are involved in child passenger safety. So overall, we got some really positive feedback that resonated with the community. Last slide.
And in conclusion, we hope that our campaign, Buckle Up Nino, can accomplish all of its outcome objectives and communication objectives, and ultimately lead to the program's goal to reduce the motor vehicle accident mortality rates of Hispanic children in California due to the misuse of child passenger restraint systems. We think the communication campaign of this program is appropriate for reaching the largest amount of people in our target audience. And children dying in motor vehicle accidents at a high rate in the Hispanic community is preventable with minimal barriers, and this is an ideal behavior to change using this type of health communication campaign. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed our presentation.
Thanks, y'all.